Good morning. How is everyone? Let's get to work, shall we? Why am I sitting up so high? What is happening here? Okay, maybe the camera moved down a bit. That's probably what happened. Oh well. That's how it's gonna have to be. I can't get to the camera now. So far away. Okay, let's get to it. So, I was nice and productive yesterday to an extent. So I actually got some more stuff done. Before we go too far though, let's just start. Okay, so this is what I did yesterday, right? I came back and I fiddled with the shop idea. So I think it kind of works pretty nice. So let me show you. It's incredible. I mean, this stuff was working yesterday. Alright, all I did was I just restarted Unity, right? I just switched everything off. Okay, let's see if it works. Okay, so... no, this is not working. Come on, it was working yesterday. I literally had it working and then I just switched off my... switched off Unity, switched off my computer, came back this morning and now it's broken. Okay, so I don't understand. Let's see what's happening here. Okay, first, the most easy thing we can do is just check if these things are assigned. It seems like they are, so that's not the problem. Let's see the first error that we got. So it said... okay. How is that? It doesn't even make any sense. How would this one not work? Because if you go to open shop, that function should exist. And it does. I mean, there are no errors. Why would that be the place where it gives me a null reference exception error? Odd enable line 34. I mean, we have a shop button. We connect the button to the shop button in the UI. Oopsie. Is this thing just confused? There's the shop button. So if we go to UI Builder, shop. This didn't save. Oh, jeez. The naming was changed. Interesting. Okay, so that's the first one. Okay, well, if that one didn't work, then I guess a lot of other things wouldn't have worked. Okay, add slot to list, level prep UI. Wait, is that really... okay, let's just see. Okay, that's again a null reference exception error. So I'm assuming that the list, this function is probably the problem. Okay, I see. So it gave an error over there, which means it didn't create a new slots, and yeah, okay. A whole bunch of things happened after that. Okay, let's just see if this at least helps. Try again. Okay. Hey, sorry. No problems. Okay, cool. So, as you can see, you start with the shop open. And essentially, the shop is just a little bit of an overlay on all the slots over here. Right, so that you can unlock the slots. Now, if the shop is active, you'll notice that you can't actually click on anything else. So all the other things become inactive. Okay. And I can now go and buy these slots. Now, currently, unfortunately, you can still add the characters. So this is like the next part. We need to make it so that if it's a level 0 or a locked slot, so to speak, it shouldn't be enabled, right? You shouldn't be able to put anything in there. I might even make it so that the slot actually is not visible. But yeah, anyway, so we can go to the shop, we can buy our first tier of all of these, and then we can... Now, obviously, it's not spending our money at the moment, so this is just some of the things we've made. My wife's been... Hey, Miss Human Limits. What do you mean you can't hear me? Did I not? Is there something wrong with my volume? It seems my volume is okay. Yeah. Do I know much about text files? Well, that depends. What do you want to know about a text file? Ew, file.readAllLines isn't working. Are you trying to... I don't even know. So I've worked with text files in the past. I assume you're working with C#. File.read readAllLines. Okay, you can hear. So let's see. I assume you do something like this, right? So you initialize a string array, and then you go readAllLines string path. Is that how you do it? So it returns a string array. So I'm assuming each element in this array that you are creating will be a line. and each line will basically be a string. Oh, it's only reading the first line. So let's see. So you do string read text file dot readlines path. Okay, what is path? I assume path is okay. Yeah, that's just where the text file is located. So that's the path to the file. Okay, file is a type of class, so that's the type, and then readlines is the method. For each string s in read text console.write. So you did try and loop through it like this, right? You made a loop. Because you can't produce the whole array. You have to loop through the elements of the array. Oh no. Oh no, what? What happened? Oh, okay. I don't know what you're saying. Did you not loop through the array? So you did something like console.write and you wrote the array, but it only gave you the first element or something like that? I'm not sure. You just need to be careful. You are working in are you working in Unity, hey? Yeah, if you're working in Unity, so Unity is obviously a framework built on top of C#, and what happens is they might not be on the same version as the actual C#. So I've had this problem before where I tried to do something in Unity and I would come to Microsoft's website to read the documentation on C#, and it just, whatever they showed here doesn't work. So sometimes the method or whatever was updated in C#, but since Unity is working with an older version of C#, it doesn't actually work exactly the same way sometimes. I'm not sure if it's going to be the case for this, but that does happen sometimes. I think I had that problem specifically when I was trying to iterate through a list of enums, and the syntax was different. So just be careful of that. If it really becomes obvious that you're not winning, it might be something dumb like that. I can't even remember how I figured it out. I think I had to Google something specifically saying that I'm using Unity or something. I don't remember. But I remember that was a problem. Anyway, let's see how the game goes. Okay, so we got our shop working and we can buy furniture. Looks kind of nice, I guess. The chair on this one looks a bit meh. But anyway, so we can put our guys in the different sections of the gym. Well, yeah, not the gym, but anyway. So one of the problems would definitely be that, yeah, I need to solve so that you can't do this. So you can't put somebody in the gym when there's no equipment there. You need the equipment. But anyway, let's check the Robin, because I want to get an item. I want to see how the item interacts with all of this. Or the rune. And then we need to figure out how to actually spend our coins. Are you working on the save system, eh? You should also try looking into the player prefs or something like that. Let's see, it's something like player prefs Unity. I think it's called player prefs, yeah. So this is like a built-in save system in Unity. So it's a very, very quick way of saving certain things. I don't exactly know what it saves or how much data it can save, but it can save enough for small games, definitely. And it's very easy to work with. Like, you just have a method called save or something like that, right? I think it's a dictionary of some kind. It's a class that stores player preferences between game sessions. It can store a string, a float, an integer, into the user's platform registry. Oh, this is very important. The player prefs is a local registry. It doesn't have encryption. Right, so you can store things there that's not really sensitive, right? But yeah, it's very easy to get going. I remember I used it for something. I can't remember what. I think it was one of the tutorials I made back in the day. Yeah, but I think it's literally as simple as, so you can do set string. So let's say you're working with strings, you can literally just do this. You can do player prefs.set strings. Then you give it a key, so it's like a dictionary. You give it a key and a value. So the key could be like player name, I don't know, and then the value could be the actual name. And then later what you can do is get string with the key, and it will give you what you want. This very easy save system to put into the game. And I think you just need to do so you can set and get everything, and then you also just need to do the save function. So you just need to run this. Oh, okay. Now Unity saves preferences automatically during on application quit. That's actually very cool. So you can call save at any time, but Unity will call it automatically when you exit your game. So that's also very nice. But yeah, it's just one file, player prefs. Your in-the-game data very sensitive. Eh? You ask people, okay, I need your credit card number, your social security number, your address. And I need to save all of that information in my game. This is very straightforward. If you just need a simple save system to get going, I'll definitely recommend this. I could actually even use this because my game does not have a super complicated state that it would need to save necessarily. I could definitely see myself saving the state in a couple of ints, strings, and floats. It's not that bad. I don't think I'm gonna do it. I might try it, but yeah. Like, maybe I'll just use it to save high scores. So you have to play the game, and if you die, you just get a score, and I save the score somewhere. And then you can try beat your high score. That might be all I do for now. No problem, man. Cheers. Have a good evening. Okay, what are we doing here? Attack speed. Okay, passive strength. Spell damage. Okay, I'm not really interested. Okay, so let's see. If you open the shop. Okay, you can still hover over these and see what they are, but you can't click them. Yeah, so nothing is clickable when the shop's open. Okay, that's okay. Also, what is this even? Wisdom, spell damage, movement speed, dodge chance. So this is a good thing for the owl. So we can still give it to the owl, and it will be there. So that's nice. What else did I want to try? Oh yeah, we can also upgrade these now. So that's technically... Okay, I don't have nice pictures for all of these things when they level up, but you can level them up if you click buy again, and you can see the price is going up. So it started at 10, then it went to 50, and then 100. Now, these are just random numbers that I'm pulling out of thin air, let's just say. So it doesn't really mean anything right now. Also, what I need to do is I need to actually, when it levels up, I need them to become more more impactful. So I don't think that is actually working at the moment. So we'll go and figure that out as well, I think. Give me an item. Yay! Let's annihilate some of these lizards. There we go. Okay. Okay, so I guess they are getting stronger. Oh, the shop's still open. Let's just check. Yep, he is getting more health, and oops, he's getting faster. Well, not super fast because he got that item that also just destroyed his movement speed. But I think he should have quite a high spell damage, yes. I think my enemies are a bit too squishy, if I'm honest. It's very easy to kill these guys. But then again, it's a balance problem. Trying to balance the game at this point is kind of stupid, I think. So let's just play, get all the systems going, right? That's a lot of levels. But it makes sense because he got increased wisdom, so he leveled up quite a bit. Okay, nice. So let's go start working on the levels for the items. Okay, so if we go to a room slot, I don't think that's where it happens, right? It happens in the waiting room. So, geez, I should really get rid of some of this nonsense code. Let's just clean up this function a little bit. Okay. So you can see that, okay, so we have like the observation deck, we have apply room effects, the gym, which apply room effects, etc., etc., right? So the room effect will be applied differently based on the level of the items, right? Just I can't remember what I did here. I checked for empty slots. Why did I take this out? So we went through each character, which first check if it's in slot 1 or slot 2. If it's not, well, if it is in slot 1 or 2, we apply this. If it's alive, we put it back in the default slot and we continue to the next character. Why did I take this out? I think I tasted something and I forgot to put it back in. Okay, so this should be is empty. Right, so this works again. So we can check if slots are empty. And if any one of the slots are empty, and the character is not currently... If the character is dead, not currently being healed, we would actually go here and try and put them in one of the slots. Okay. So that's fine. Now, this is now where things get interesting. So, and this is also kind of where we now need to start splitting these slots, because depending on which slot he's actually in, this effect will actually be different. Right, so let's see. So our slot will have a level, and based on the level of the slot, it'll be more or less effective, right? So let's see. I should actually now break this a little bit. So let's say this if statement ends there. We take out this and we do shift tab over there. So now it's just a new if. Okay, let's remove this continue because it doesn't make any sense there anymore. Okay, so essentially if the character is respawned, we can just okay, so let's just try this. Okay, so this we need to split into two if statements essentially now. Just because we have two different slots, right? So we can get rid of this part. So our slots are now unique. So this is slot 1 and slot 2. Okay. Okay, so most of this is kind of still the same. Okay, so let's think about this. So this piece of code here where we check if the character is no longer dead, we should actually put that now inside of each of these. And we should do a continue after it. Right, so it's a bit more clunky now, but we can also do a for each loop instead if we really wanted for each slot, but nah, there's only 2 slots, so we can do it like this. Doesn't make it a big difference. Okay, but the idea would be I could put a loop for each of the slots. You know what, let's just do that. It is technically better. So for each each room slot in slots in room, I think. Okay, so what we want to do here is check basically, well, we basically want to do some version of this, right? So we can put all of that in there. So if our current slot is equal to slot, right? So the slot that we are in, we would have to do something based on the slot. Okay. Now, if this is the case, we want to actually break from that for each loop. So if we find, wait, no, we don't want to do that. So let's think about this. So we go in here, we go for each slot. So we do something with the first slot. We have to come around. Oh, actually, yeah, it's for the same character. So technically, we get a character. We check, is the character in the first slot? No. Is the character in the second slot? No. Okay, fine. Let's just go to the next character. Right? But if the character is in any one of those slots, so let's say we go to the first slot, we're like, oh, hey, the character is here, do some stuff, then I'm happy breaking, right? We don't have to check the second slot. We already found the character's slot. Okay? And then we go to the next character, we do it again. Okay, so we just break from this for each loop. Now, this is where it gets a bit funny, because now we need to figure out okay, so we break from the for each loop, so we're out of the slots, but we still got the character. So we continue with the character, and I think we need to do this if statement separate now. Separate from the room, actually. So let's think about this. Okay, so we go slot 1, we find the character, we do something, we break out of this loop. And then we go here and we ask, okay, that character that we just had, is it actually still dead? If not, then we do something else. Now, if the character got revived, I would think that we want to do a continue here, right? So this continue will go to the next character, if the character is in fact now alive or not dead. Right, so that would work for two reasons, because okay, it'll change the character to the default slot, which is kind of bad. We only want that to happen in here if we find a character slot. Okay, so let's copy this. So before we break here, we need to do this still. So essentially, we heal the character, and if the character is now alive, we want to put it back in the default slot and then continue on. Well, we actually don't want to continue to the next slot. We just want to break out. Right, because we got a character, we found that it is in the slot, we tried to heal it. So anytime we find a character, we need to break. Actually, then we don't need this. Okay, so if we find a character in the slot, we can break out of this loop and go to the next character, right? And as soon as we find a character for that slot, we can break out of that. Now, if we don't find a character at all, well, I kind of want to break out of this loop because I don't want to continue down here, right? So we can put a guard clause where we basically say, okay, cool. So the character we just selected, so we got a character, we checked both slots. He's not in any of those slots. So that means we continue after this, right? Then we get over here and we see, oh, the character is actually alive. That means we can just continue to the next character. So we throw him away. But if the character is actually dead, then we'll continue on and check whether or not any one of these two slots are empty. And then we can put the character in one of those two slots. Okay, not perfect. And actually, we don't even need this. So if you think about it, we can only enter into this if the character is dead. So we'll just kind of come here. It's like, oh no, it's a live character. Let's try and put him in the slot. We can't. Yeah, no, this works out. Okay, so this is our room effect. Now, this is where it gets interesting. So, that number. So, we can do int heal amount. Or. We don't actually do that. We don't have to do that. We can just... Yeah, we can just do this. So we can do minus equal. So here we go. Slot dot okay, so how do we get the slot strength? So in our room slots, we obviously have okay, so I think we need a public float. Yeah, we should work with floats. So public float get slot effectiveness. Get slot effectiveness, right? And this returns return furniture SO dot values based on the level, right? Something like that. So it just returns the values based on the level that the slot is currently have. Effect value, get slot effect value, so now they can all do this. So we have a furniture SO. Inside of our furniture SO, we should have values. So we can just return that value. Well, okay, it's a list of values, right? And it will be different based on the level we are. So we just pass in the level to get the actual value, okay? And that's a public function. So our waiting room should be able to call that slot dot get slot effect value. Okay, so now this is arguing because it doesn't like that this is a Oh, I needed to put the... Oops. I need to put that. Okay, and that works. Okay, that was my problem. Okay, so now depending on the level, it'll give us a better effect, essentially. Okay, and this one affects our respawn timers specifically. Now, I could make it so that in the future they could do more than that, but for now, that's good enough. Yeah, we could have a secondary effect value if we really wanted. Okay. That's the revive station all figured out. Let's go to our... the gym, right? The gym is a little bit funny. Okay, so again, this needs to be split into two... probably 4 eaches. For each. Okay. Okay, so it goes slot in room, slot. Okay, so this one is a little bit more complicated because the slot doesn't necessarily know. The slot itself doesn't know what it's supposed to affect. Right? Okay, so that might be a bit of an issue. So what we can do is we can tell the furniture SO we can do public stat so dot stat name stat to effect. All right. And the idea would be that a piece of furniture would affect a stat, right? And we could also expand this if we really wanted. But that would mean that inside of so if we look at a cardio equipment, for instance, we can now say stat to effect should be movement speed, for instance, right? Our hospital bed, this one is technically supposed to affect our, well, the stat that doesn't show here, to be honest, but anyway, okay. Observation chair. Now this one's complicated because it has 2 effects. It affects both experience gain but also current health. Or health regen. The weight equipment, that affects max health. So let's work with this and see where we start to find problems. Okay, so one of the issues is this scriptable object that we attach to it is not quite available. So we can do a public. Okay, let's go see what we can do with this now. So in this case, what we can do is we can actually very easily so this is very important for the the gym specifically. The other ones not so much. But the gym has this problem where, yeah, we need to do this. It's got 2 different slots, right? And these 2 different slots affect 2 different things. So if I did this, okay, so I can check if ch dot current slot equals slot. And then we do something, right? Now, okay, so let's copy this. Okay, so get compound character data, And then here we need to do slot. Oops. Slot dot furniture SO dot stat to effect, right? So that's our stat name. So since the one is movement speed, the other one is max health, this should work. And then we can do slot dot get slot effect value, and that's all she wrote, right? So if we find and these continues don't really make sense, but we can delete this. Okay, so that's way simpler now. So let's see how this would work. So it'll just go between the two slots. If it gets one, we can just break once it gets one, right? There's only like 4 slots, but if it gets a slot that matches, we can break from this list and go to the next character, right? So that's okay. Okay, but it's literally going to go character data, upgrade character data by amount. So we're upgrading our character data. And there we go. Okay. Okay, so that one is also very straightforward. And I hope that most of them can work like this. That's at least what I'm going to try and do. Even though the other rooms are going to be much simpler. So this room specifically could also work like that, but the problem with this room is these two stats that it is affecting are not they're not a proper stat, right? Current health and respawn timer are not stats in the same way. Okay, but anyway, let's go to our observation deck. Now this one again is a bit of a problem. Okay, so it applies health regen. Right, so it goes to our character stat manager and applies the health regen. It also determines whether or not we should gain experience. Right, so it works a little bit differently, but yeah. And so we would have to do a similar for each here. Room slot in slots in room. Okay, for each of them we'll do something like this, but okay, so we apply the health regen. The problem is apply health regen doesn't take an amount yet, so let's go to this function and let's tell it to take a float amount. Okay, and then instead, okay, or let's call it the multiplier. Right, so instead of just using the character health regen, we need to take the character health regen and multiply it by the multiplier. Okay. Now this is probably going to be ridiculously powerful. Yeah, but it is what it is. So let's just leave it like that. So this means in our waiting room, we need to give it the slot.get slot effect value. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so the health regen is now multiplied. But the other problem is in the future, I might want to add things like the binoculars and things like that. That will make the room do other things as well. Like increase the amount by which you gain experience, for instance. But yeah, that's going to be an interesting problem that I'll solve when I get there. But for now, it's what it is. Okay. I think this is fine. So now at least the upgrade should work. So let's just go. Let's save everything and go here. And let's just see what the strength values are. Okay, so the cardio equipment 0. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. Okay, the hospital bed 1, 2, and 3. So this will just basically increase the respawn rate. Okay, observation chair 1, 2, and 3. Let's make it 1.5 and 2. Yeah, that seems more reasonable. Weight equipment 1, 2, and 3. That might be okay. Let's leave it like that for now. Okay. Obviously, the price of these things will need to be balanced as well somehow, but yeah, who knows how we're going to do that. Okay, so this should just work, I'm sure. So the next thing is I should check whether or not a slot is at least level 1 before I allow anything to be placed inside of the slot. Right, so let's see. Where do we do this? So I think it's when we click on a slot. So a slot clicked. First of all, if the shop is open, just don't try anything. If you have a rune selected, you can do stuff then. That doesn't matter. Now let's see. If your character selected is null, then that means we want to get the character inside that. Now, if the character selected is not null, now we can think about things. So first, we can check. Okay. So I think what we need to do here, just as a start, we need to put a guard clause, which is quite simply just gonna check if slot dot level okay, so the level of the slot is not available to me. Okay, so slots don't... Okay, so wait a minute. When we click on a slot, we don't necessarily check. Okay. So we first need to add something to all slots. Okay, let's do something like this. Public int level. So all slots will have a level, right? Basic slots will just have a level which is equal to 1, right? These are slots that don't do anything, so they just start with a level of 1. And then room slots will be different. Their levels start at 0. Okay, and now we don't actually need this anymore, right? We have a so all slots will have a level that's public, and we can get that level, right? So we can do in here, we can do if slot dot level is equal to 0. So if it's a 0 level slot, we just return. Okay, we don't even try anything. If we have a character selected and we're trying to put it in a level 0 slot, don't even go there. Just go back. Okay. So that should allow us to not put characters in slots which we haven't unlocked. Okay. The next thing I think we should try is to check if let's think about this. So the other thing we need to be wary of is, oh yes, leveling up a slot too much. Okay, so let's look at the slot shop button click. So that's slot level up clicked. Okay, so we should do something like if level equals 3, we also just return. Okay, so we don't allow you to go above level 3. But honestly, what we should maybe do instead is after this, so we get a level up, we do all the nice things. And maybe we can do this. If our level is equal to 3, once we've finished leveling up, we should do things like, okay, we update the background image, we change the level text, cost text, but actually we should do something about the cost text or the button itself. So let's do shop button dot style dot display equals display style dot none. Right, so we just literally, if the level is equal to 3, we take away the display style. We can also do cost label label.text equals something like max level. Okay, so we change that so it says max level. Okay, we can also do coin icon. Wait, how did I do this one? Because I know I added the coin. So cost label coin icon. Oh, the coin icon is not something we have access to. Okay, so maybe we should have access to that. So private visual element coin icon. Okay, that means we don't need to do this. Okay, and then we can do coin icon dot style not display equals to display style. Like that, right? So we hide our button and our coin, and we just set this cost label dot text to max level. Okay. So this is if we reach level 3. And now, even if for some reason we click the button again and we already level 3, we just do a return. Now we might do something different there, but for now that should work. So we can level up to level 3, and then it should just tell us, look, you are max level now. So that's kind of it. Okay, let's see how all of this comes together. So we've done quite a few things. We changed the amounts by which upgrades, the effects will happen. We also made it so you can't put a character in a level 0 slot. And we made it so that you cannot, for some reason, level up a slot beyond level 3. They only have 3 levels. Okay. So let's put all that. Okay, we have a compile error. Clear. Where is this? Player manager. Oh, apply health regen. Yeah, this is actually not something you do anymore, ever. So we can actually get rid of all this, and yeah, this whole update is pointless now. Okay, and there we go. There's probably still some other code somewhere here that, yeah. There's a lot of code in a lot of places that don't do anything anymore. Okay. Hello. Okay, there we go. Okay, so if I close the shop and I try put a character in here, you can see it doesn't let me. I can still put them there, so I could do this. So I need to open the shop and I need to buy a chair, and then I can put them in the chair. Okay, so that's good. So let's buy a few more things. So a trade mall, a weight section, we have a chair. Let's buy one of those. Yeah, let's actually check if we go for the chair. Level 1, 2, 3. Okay. So it doesn't let me go, but it kind of got confused here. Okay. So maybe we do the cost label over there, and we do a return over there, because it tried to get a cost from somewhere that doesn't exist, which means it failed, and then it couldn't do anything else, right? So this makes more sense. So we set the cost normally like that, but this text will become max level if it's level 3, and we break out of this function before we get here where the error will be. Yeah. Okay. But everything else should work, I guess. Oh wait, I should have put them in a... Okay, let's die. Okay, so she's now inside this, so let's make it a level 3. Okay, so that doesn't work, the text, but what should work at least is the level. So normally it would take 30 seconds to revive, but since she has and let's actually upgrade some of these. Since she has a level 3, it should take 10 seconds, so we can check that. Let's put you into weights, let's put you into that, and put you into that. So we should also see his health increase twice as quickly. So the health should be increased. I actually don't know how much time we have left. .5 movement speed. Okay. Let's click on our Robin, because we would be able to see the respawn timer going in increments of 3, because it's a level 3. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so we have about 15 seconds left, maybe even more than that. So she should be able to revive, no problem. Yep, she did revive. So her health is getting higher. Yeah, she started to heal, which would mean she was placed inside of a chair. Let's just see. She went there. She shouldn't be able to heal over there. Okay, that's interesting. Why did her health increase? Like, if she was kicked into one of those chairs, that makes sense. Okay, but let's just check this guy. 15 seconds times 2, so that's about 30 HP. Yeah, that makes sense. And 86, so that's about 30 movement speed. Yeah. So the level 2 stuff is working. The level 3 stuff is working. She should now gain health at a rate quite a bit higher, but it's kind of weird. So her health regen is 0.5. In a level 3 chair, that should be 1.5 at least, right? So if we start the level, yeah, so it seems like she was getting the 1.5 health regen already, even though she wasn't in that chair. So there's a little bit of a bug there going on. Okay, so let's stop. Let's save this so that this is now a thing. And let's go look at our waiting room and see how this is happening, right? So we go to slots in room, right? So slots in room. Wait a minute. Don't I have the same thing over here? Room slots. Oh yes, I do, and I do add them. Okay. So slots in room. Oh, okay. I see. I didn't do the check. This is actually what I needed. Right. Yep. You should check if it's actually the correct slot. Yeah, it was just applying the health regen to everybody. Whoopsie. Yeah, so if the character current slot is equal to slot, then we can do that. Okay, that's better. Okay, small little bug there. This one is fine. This one is also fine. And the values are working. It'd be kind of cool if we didn't put it in the default slot. If we tried putting them inside of a observation deck slot instead, where they can heal up a little bit, right? So how would we do that? So let's see. Our observation deck. Well, eventually, what I would actually like to do is give you the ability of chaining these slots. So you can be like, okay, I want him to be inside of the weight section of the gym for 30 seconds, then another 30 seconds inside the cardio section, and then go to our the other thing, right? So change current slot. Yeah, that's a whole extra new system that I want to have work. But I don't know how to do that yet. So maybe I could do this. How would I do that? So I just need to get the slot. So I guess I could just do observation deck dot slots in room. Check if the slot is empty. Put them there. Hey, this guy. How's it going, man? So the plan, you would notice, I've done quite a bit of stuff. let me show it off to you first. Okay, so you would see when you start the game, there is a different look to this, right? So the thing, okay, so we have a shop button that does this, right? So if you click on the shop button, it overlays a shop on top of all our slots that we have available at the moment. Now, it should do more than that, but that's what it does now, right? And then what you can do is you can actually buy, and I should call this something else, but anyway, you can buy the specific slot. So I can buy this slot, and now I have a treadmill there, which means I can put somebody inside of that slot. If I don't have it unlocked, I can't actually interact with the slot, right? It's not working. Okay? So that's the first thing that I've done. You can now unlock them. You can also upgrade them. So there's 3 levels to these slots. So there's a level 1 gym, a little pink dumbbell. Level 2, a proper set of dumbbells. And level 3, I don't have a nice picture yet. But you can see it tells me it's now max level. And I can't interact with it anymore in the shop. Right, so that's a level 3 weightlifting section, right? And what it'll also do is it'll actually know, based on the level, it'll actually be more effective at increasing your character's stats, right? So a level 1 treadmill is still what it was. A level 3 treadmill is 3 times as powerful. Same with the weight section. And then we also have, okay, so if we go back to our shop, if we go buy a level 1 chair, let's put the chicken in the chair. So the chairs work the same way, but they only affect your health at the moment. So the higher your health, or the better the chair you are sitting in and relaxing in, the faster you heal, right? So your health regenerates more. Oh, and then you have the revive station. So we got a little hospital bed over there. And it also will revive you quicker based on the level. So level 1 does, revives you in 30 seconds. Level 2 would be half of that or twice as fast. Level 3 would be 3 times as fast. So yeah, so I got all that working, which is kind of cool. So we can go play, and now I just need to actually get the upgrades to use money, because currently you can just click the upgrades, right? And it's never a problem. So that's my next plan, is just to get them to spend the coins. So there's actually a point in getting coins in the first place, right? And then what I also want to do, I never implemented the scavenging stat. Sun Wukong. Hey Ta, how's it? How are you doing, man? So the scavenging stat isn't actually doing anything. I don't think it's fully implemented, so I want to implement that one completely, so that you can get more coin drops based on the level of that. So I think that's the next thing I need to do, as well as making the coins spendable. Yeah, and if I can do all of that today, then the next thing would be getting to make new rooms that you can also unlock in the shop. But I have no idea how I'm going to do that yet. So, okay, but you should notice, so since the duck was in a level 3 gym, which kind of looks terrible, but hey, IBO, good morning. So, but the duck was in a level 3 gym. So he got, in that 30 seconds, close to 90 health, right? Which is 3 times as fast as he would have previously. And we can upgrade like the treadmill. Unfortunately, I don't have all the graphics yet, so I just put some random stuff in here. We can buy another chair, close the shop, put the Robin in the chair so she can go heal, get the duck out, So yeah, that's kind of working, right? I know that feeling. Yeah, I know that feeling all too well. You can get stumped on something that's apparently very basic, and as soon as you actually find the correct piece of article or whatever, it just kind of, it kind of feels bad. I've been through that multiple times, don't worry. It's all part of learning. That's when you learn the most, though, I think. Like, you're never going to forget that again in your life. Okay, nice. Let's just give them some stats, random stuff, because I don't want to... Okay, she's now fully healed. Let's put him in the chair so he can heal a bit. Let's put the... You know what? The owl can stay there. Let's go with the... How quick is this owl by now? Just like it. Okay, let's play with the owl. Let's put this scrawny bird into the gym. Oh, damn. I went into the blue zone. Oh, look at this quick owl. Okay, so obviously a level 3 treadmill or cardio section in the gym is very powerful. We can see that, right? This is not, it's not a good idea to make the wizard this fast. Okay, but I guess we're not balancing yet, so I guess it should be this strong. I mean, it feels kind of good, but maybe the characters start off way slower than this, so that the base speed is very low, so even if you have a strong gym, it's not that easy. Or I should make it so that the cost to unlock a level 3 gym is massive, right? So you can't just flippin' you can't just spam everything to level 3 and then go kill everything. Okay, so let's take this bird again and let's go die. Just so we can see that the hospital bed also works the way it should. Hey, an item. Toot. I should die. Okay, but let me just get all the items first. She's still got broken luck stats, so. Toot. Okay, you can kill me now. Okay, she was booted into the revive station. That's good. We got some items. Now, you see, this is where I was kind of fiddling with this. Okay, so the Featherflux seal, that's just a bad item. Let's not worry about that one. This one reduces your movement speed, damage, armor. Well, movement speed and damage, but it increases your armor and health regen. So that's not so bad. We could give that to the owl, right? 6 movement speed, but we have an incredibly powerful gym. So this is the other interaction that I have to think about. Not only will the cost affect the gym levels, but whether or not you are willing to invest that cost will be determined by whether or not you got a good item. So if you get a good item like this one, but it reduces your movement speed, it's like, oh, that feels bad, but I am now incentivized into leveling up my cardio section in the gym just so that I can counteract that item. Right? So this is the kind of stuff that we need to think about. What does this one do? This one just gives you more luck and scavenging, so that doesn't really do much. So let's try and recover. Whoa. I also need to fix that zoom thing. Get stunned. Nice. Okay. Okay, we got some errors there. That's because that ability is a bit broken. It's not the end of the world. Okay, so if we go look at the Ranger, we will see that she's got 2 more seconds left in the bed. Then she will respawn. Okay, so that's good. Okay, and you are slowly but surely getting faster. You should be nice and healed up because you're sitting in a chair. Even though you have no health regen. I guess he had health regen before I added that item. Which makes the health regen negative 50. Okay. Samurai Kong, what are you saying there? Oh. Converting Python to HTML. I've done a bit of that. Are you using... But yeah, I know the feeling. That's a bad feeling. You sit there for days. And then eventually it's something super straightforward. PyGBag. I guess there are so many flippin' libraries for Python that do that. Asyncio. Okay. I can't even remember what it was that I used. It was some templating language. So you would write... I made the Python backend with Flask, but then I also used some template language where you can generate HTML using a template that you build out of something else that's something like Python. Well, it incorporates with Python well. Can't remember. This was 2022 maybe? Yes, like. Oh, you're making a proper browser game. Oh, that's pretty nice. Do you have it on itch.io or something? Cool, what's the name? We can check it out. itch.io. Ah, here's yes, like it. My original Chicken Knight game, which is now completely different. Damn. People are not playing this very often anymore. I don't think so. Yeah, no. Permission to link. Are you just linking to each other? You can do that. That's fine. Go ahead. Let's see what you've got. MonkeyBot. Oh, I guess that's... Hey, you need to make beautify your Twitch page. Your Twitch page. Your itch page. Put some backgrounds and stuff here. Okay. Let's see. Play game. Oh, damn. Which side am I on? I'm on that side. What does JKL mean? Or are those the controls? No, JKL means nothing. Why am I losing to this thing? You've made the AI way too powerful. So, what you I don't know if... I can't tell if this is in... What makes the ball go faster? Whoopsie. How do I stop? Okay, escape. Oh, there's a shop. Oh. Ah, look at this. Ah, I see. We've got a ton of money. Let's equip this one. I didn't even read what it does. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. Tornado ball. Oh, wait. Let's try the other one. Oh, EKG ball. Okay, I understand. Screwball. Okay. It's unfortunate that the AI is so good at the game. Yeah, this is making it difficult for me. Okay, smaller paddle. Interesting. I remember when I made a Pong game back in Flipbutton when I was in university. We had a computer science module in our mechanical engineering degree, but we had to make a Pong game. And I think one of the things you had to do was I don't know if this was because that's how the original Pong worked, or it was just something our lecturer wanted to do. But based the return speed of the ball would be based on the movement of the paddle. So if you were moving the paddle down, let's say, upon collision, it'll kind of add the paddle speed to the ball. So you can give it a lot of. It was kind of interesting because you can also like kind of counter the speed of the ball. So if the ball was moving up, you move down, then it'll hit back straight, right? And you can imagine that especially if it's PvP, that's kind of like you have to predict how the thing's going to come back at you based on the ball's speed and the movement the enemy or the opponent was doing. It was kind of cool. It just made it more skill-based in a way. Though you make this in 24 hours, that's actually... That's kind of insane. What does hyper mode do? Oh no, I still have my EKG ball. Or whatever this is. I did say hyper mode, didn't I? I'm pretty sure I did. Return to main menu. Okay, wait. Let's get some other. Okay, fast ball. Hyper mode. Ah, damn it! I didn't equip my paddle. I can't tell what hyper mode is doing. What is hyper mode doing? Apart from just making me lose faster. Yeah. The AI is way too powerful. Well, you are the developer. You're supposed to be able to beat it. Oh, it does seem like... Oh, wait. Did you... Is the paddle movement actually determining the ball movement? No. My word. Okay. So I equip from there. Okay, I don't know what do I do now. I am a fastball. Whoops. Okay, that didn't do anything. I clicked it too late. Did I? Or is it just... Okay, the fastball does not do much. Very nice. For 20 years, like doing that in 24 hours, you obviously have a little bit of experience, or at least you are familiar with programming. If you give me 24 hours, the best I will do is flounder, right? Definitely not making a game in 24 hours. Okay, anywho. Okay, so I think the basics are working. The upgrades are working. Now we just need to make it so that you could actually spend some cash, right? So we have our indicator here, but I don't think it's linked to anything. Coin count. Hey, thanks for the follow, Sun Wukong. Appreciate that. Okay, so I don't think the coin count is actually being updated, as far as I know. Maybe it is. It's just not. Well, okay, let's go see. Let's go see. So in our level prep UI, doesn't seem like I have a coin count here. Okay. Makes sense. I kind of figured. Okay, so let's do private. This is a label. Coin count. Might not. Maybe this is actually not going to be private. Well, we'll figure it out, right? Okay, so coin count. Wait. Coin count equals root.q. This is a label. It's got a name. The name is coin count. There we go, right? This is correct, I believe. Yes. Okay, now we also have something called a coin manager or something like that. I can't even, or a purse, or who knows. Let's just check something. Okay, so that's all our slot clicking stuff. Unselect, select, open shop. Okay. Yeah, okay, so we're not updating anything at the moment. Okay, so we got a reference to our coin count. But it's not connected to anything. Let's go check. I think I made a coin manager, to be honest with you. And I think that's also what I called it, which is unfortunate. But you know what? That's how it is. Where would I have put this, though? Yes. This game is going to be... I did make a coin manager. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so we can add coins and we can remove coins. Okay, so that's fine. So we'll just have to call the remove coins from somewhere. And upon removing coins, we should also update, I guess, our UI, right? Okay, so maybe we just make a very straightforward function over here somewhere. It's like it. This is getting ridiculous. Public void update coin count. Okay, so all we have to do is go coin count dot text equals coin manager dot instance dot coin count dot toString. Boom. So that's basically all we need to do. And we can just call that in here somehow. Okay, that's a little bit less obvious now because this thing obviously doesn't have access to our level prep UI necessarily. Right? So how do we get to this? Now we could add an event, but that doesn't seem good. Okay, I think what I'm gonna do. Okay, so let's think about this. So where are we spending coins, or how are we getting coins? Okay, so obviously in the slot, shop button clicked. Okay, so this is effectively where we need to be, right? So when you click the shop button, things happen, right? Yeah, things happen here. Okay, so we click the shop button, we increase the level, we change the background image, and a bunch of other things. We change the level text, etc., etc. But we should also change our coin amount. We should change our coin amount, and we should update. Okay, so we go coin manager dot instance dot remove coins. And now how many coins do we remove? Well, we go to our furniture SO dot coin cost, and do we do level? Okay, this would give us the coin cost for our... Okay, we just need to be careful here. When do we do that? I think we do that before we change our level. Ah, jeez. No, actually, maybe not. So let's think. If it's 10, our level is 0. At level 0... To upgrade to level 1, the cost is 10. So we should upgrade our level to level 1 to get the cost, right? That's the way. Yeah. Yeah, we should go to level 3, remove the level 3 cost. Yeah. So this is going to work. So we remove coins, and then what we can do is go to our level prep UI dot update coin count, and that kind of just works because the slot is the thing that's going to be removing coins, and then we can update our coin count. Okay, and we could also update our coin count when we get into the room. So when we show the UI, we can do just a quick update coin count, just so that we have the correct number of coins shown in our UI. Okay, so that's pretty much, that's one way to spend coins at least. That should work out. Now the next thing we should do is we should actually check if we have enough coins in the first place, right? So that might be interesting. So this if statement is going to be changed because it doesn't need to be there. So we should actually check something here instead. Right, so we should compare our current coins. So if our coin manager dot instance dot coin count is less than our furniture SO dot coin cost for our next level, okay, so when's this going to break? So let's say we go to level 3. Well, that means the button is going to disappear. So we can't come back here and ask this. So when we are in level 2, this will get the cost of level 3, right? And compare it to our coin count. And if we have enough coins, it'll be fine. If we don't have enough coins, it'll obviously just return. So it won't actually have the button click occur. We could also obviously do things like, just let the player know what is actually occurring here. You don't have the coin for that, right? Obviously that should be nice pop-up or something like that, but for now it's just whatever this is. Okay, but this should be fine. So we can check slot level clicked, but we might not have enough coin. Okay, so let's see how this implementation goes. I think that's pretty much it, right? That's all we needed to do. So we just needed to actually display our coin count and then make sure we can't spend coin we don't have. Okay, it would be kind of nice if we could make this even better, but for now, let's just work with what we have and see if that works. Now, obviously, we can make it so that if you don't actually have enough coins for a specific upgrade, I could make it so that the buy button or whatever goes red, right? That's something we could do. So you can see at a distance what you can afford. Okay, let's try this. Cold coffee, no. Okay, so let's see. Buy didn't do anything. Null reference exception error. But why? You do have a reference to this. Okay, or you don't. Ah, jeez. Okay, I see what I did. Okay, let's say that you do. Okay. Yeah, it's obviously gonna compile and then gonna bitch about the fact that I changed some of the code. Chill out, it's fine. It's fine. Yeah, let's try that again. Okay, so now if we click this, there we go. We spent some money. If I click it now, you don't have enough coin for that because it's 50, right? But we at least got a gym. We should get a hospital bed just in case, and this maybe a deck chair, and let's save the rest of our money. Yep. So we close the shop. We put the ranger there. We put the duck over there. Nah, let's put the duck in there. Let's put the owl in there. And let's start the level. Now we don't have a place to put the chicken, but that's okay. He will be fine. Ew. Yes. Yeah, level up or upgrade or something like that. I agree. I agree with you. Okay, but this is kind of nice. So we got a Bloodwing Sigil, which makes you very powerful, but it saps all your health. Let's put it on the bird. So now she's only got 75 HP left. But we can go to the shop, buy a level 2 dumbbell. Put her there and be like, okay, you're going to train, get some more health. And we'll take the chicken out for now. And, yeah. Oh, so if I change the script, so if I forget about, because I do that very often, I forget to exit play mode, and then I go edit something in my scripts, and everything just breaks and shouts at me. Okay, we're getting some cash. This is going to be so difficult to balance. Like, I have no idea how much money I should be making and how much things should cost. Like, this is a very tough problem. Look at that. We're almost back to full. We've almost restored our max health completely. Very cool. Very cool. Okay. Let's start the level like that. Wait, why? Yeah, I've not selected a character. What do you mean? That's weird. Okay. That's a new bug. Playing out loud. Why did it do that? It's the first time that's happened in a while. Is it because I... No, man, that should have worked. Okay, I'll check that code now. Yeah, that animation didn't work. Okay, I'm flush with cash. Okay, Joel, 255 HP. That's enough HP, Joel. Now we can buy some more level ups. Get a better chair. Okay, and then this bird should be pretty powerful because she's got one of those runes. And since I had a gem available, I could actually get her health back to normal, even after taking that item. Another one? Let's grab it. Now I'm going to be very powerful. So what does this thing do again? I think it gives you a lot of life steal and damage, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, that's why I'm healing so fast. I can already tell that my my enemies are not strong enough anymore. But I think it's because of the ranger. So the ranger obviously has a 500% luck stat, which means I'm basically guaranteed to get runes, and the runes are very powerful. Some of them, at least. Okay, we'll try that. How do I read this? Ball speed equals slow 4, medium, fast 8, fast 14. So I read that as a key value pair. So that looks like a dictionary. And the key is slow, and it returns. So if you query the dictionary with the keyword slow, it'll the string slow, that is, it'll return a value of 4. Right? And same type of logic for the other ones. That's how I would read that. Oh. Are these the speed levels, or the amount of bounces until it goes faster? I have no idea. I think that is the speed of the ball. No idea for Python and JavaScript. I've coded in both. Very little JavaScript though. JavaScript is its own thing. But yeah, I've programmed a lot in Python back in my early days. That's basically the language of choice. Anywho, okay, so now I have no more health regen, but my damage is 59. It's amazing. It's amazing. Ooh, we can even get it this one going, and now I have massive attack speed. I should not use this one though. This one is terrible. Okay. Now I can't remember what the problems were that I was going to solve. I think the only... Okay, we had to do two things. First, I just wanted to go check up here why it thought that I didn't have a character. So what does it do? So it checks if the current slot for any character is the next level slot. Right, and normally when you have two characters, if you go to click a slot and you have a character selected, and we're not changing with the default slot, it just changes the slots around, right? Yeah, so how did that not work? Huh. I don't know how that didn't work. Okay, let's go check. In Unity settings, IBO, you said preferences, general section, file, or was it edit preferences? I never know. Preferences and project settings. General. Oh, script changes while playing. Recompile and continue playing. Now that's bad. Recompile after finish playing. That's better. Stop playing and recompile. Let's go with that one. I like that one. Where do I apply, or is this just applied now? I guess it's just applied. Okay, cool. I think I'm gonna go grab me my other coffee, go use the restroom, and then we'll continue with this. I think I got the systems working the way I believe they should. So let's make a way to add more rooms next. I think that'll be kind of cool. Or, okay, we either need to do that or we need to implement the scavenging stat so that we are actually able to drop more gold based on the level of your scavenging or greed or whatever I wanted to call it. But yeah, something like that. I'll be right back. Let me just do this. 2 minutes. Hello. I have returned. This time, I'm gonna make an effort to drink my coffee before it's cold. Because it's already winter. I don't need to do that to myself as well. Okay, so I think let's do the scavenging stat real quick, because I think that's gonna be simple. It's probably not gonna be simple, but I think it's gonna be fast. In terms of, it's going to be faster than making a thing that creates a room, right? So I think we can do that one quick. Okay, let's try it. I can tell how the longer this project goes, the less motivated I become or the less motivated I am to work on it, right? And I think that's what, the concept of clean code, architecture, and all this stuff is about. It's a methodology or a philosophy of keeping your damn project manageable, because it's gonna get out of hand and then you're not gonna want to work on it anymore, or working on it takes forever because it's a mess. And I can definitely feel that I've made myself a little bit of a mess here. It's not that bad. I think it was worse, but we've done some strategic refactoring in the past which made it better. But it's not great. Okay, so let's just go check in our stats SOs. So I think, what did we call this in the end? Scavenging, it seems. Okay, so we have a percentage value. 5, 10, 20. Okay, so I don't know what that means. So let's decide what that means. If that's a percentage value, we want it to be 5, 10, and 20, would it be a percentage chance or a percentage increase? Or is that the same thing, actually? I guess it's the same thing. Unless we make it feel good. So let's imagine that it's a percentage chance for there to be 3 coins dropped. Right, so you have a 5% chance that killing an enemy drops 3 coins instead of 1, for instance. Or just triples the amount of coins. If it just doubles the amount of coins, that would mean it's the same as just a percentage increase. But tripling the increase, that makes it even better. So I think I like the triple. So we can make it drop 3 coins instead. Yeah. Okay. So it's a chance to drop 3 coins instead of 1. Or a chance to drop 3 times the amount of coins. Okay. I like that idea. So let's just go and implement this, right? So I think the first place we need to go is all the way to a base player character data, because I don't think I have it as a stat in this switch case statement here. Yeah, no, it doesn't. No, here it is. It's scavenging. Yeah, we got scavenging. Okay, cool. So scavenging is there, but we never get it as an upgrade. Or do we? I actually don't know. Oh, you know where it's not. I know where it's not. So in the actual scriptable objects for stats, we have a scavenging stat, but we have this list. And we need to add scavenging to this list, yeah. Yes, like we already have 14 stats. Is that right? That 15 stat SOs, 1 stat SO, list SO. Wait, so there's one that I don't have, or maybe I'm just dumb. No, that's 15. Okay, so we are now implementing the last stat. So now we have all 15 stats in the game. So now we should be able to get upgrades and stuff like that for it. But we need to go check how our coins are spawned. So I have a coin spawner. Yes. So the coin spawner is just literally dropping a coin. Wow. And it's being called by the enemy manager. So when, okay, that's basically when an enemy dies, it spawns a coin. Okay. So what we can do, a very simple way of doing this would just be to do just do a int I equals 0. Oh, geez, what am I doing? Struggling to type here. I've been struggling to type the last couple of days. I don't know why. For I less than 3, so it's going to be 0, 1, 3, I plus plus. Okay. So let's think about this. So if we just did this, that's it, right? That'll just spawn the coin 3 times. Okay, but we should put some clauses here. So if, so let's get the scavenging float layer scavenging. This should be equal to player manager dot instance dot get character no, selected character. We need the selected character. Get selected character dot get component character stat manager, and we want to get stat total, and the stat total stat so dot stat name dot scavenging. There, we did it. We've done it. So we got the scavenging, right? Yeah, and now we can just do a random number check. Int random equals random.range 0 to 100. Okay. So if player scavenging is greater than random. Am I doing this correct? So 10% chance. So 10% of the numbers would be actually less than 10 or 30 or 20 or whatever the case might be. So this works. Right, so if our scavenging number is greater than the random number that we just... should be opposite. Oh. Less than the random number. No. That'll be too much. Right, so if you think about it, if 5 is greater than a number between 0 and 100, right? So how many? What are the odds that 5 is going to be greater than a random number between those two? It's going to be 5%, right? And that's how I want to read it. If it's 50, what are the odds that 50 is greater than a random number between 0 and 100? Well, there's a 50% chance of that. So greater than works. As soon as you do this, and this is 5, there's a 95% chance that this is actually gonna well, it depends on what I want to do, right? It depends on what I want to do. So if this is the case, then I want this for loop to run. right? So we run the for loop and we return. Look at me, I'm using returns like you guys taught me. Otherwise, we just instantiate one coin. Right? It's not liking what I'm doing. Is it because of this? Ah. Okay. I'll do an if else if that's what it wants. What? Else? Else we do this. Yeah, it doesn't understand the return, it seems. Okay, so if our scavenging is greater than the random number that we just generated, we have 3 coins drop. Otherwise, we just do the 1 coin. Yeah, I think I actually do it that way most often as well, to be honest with you. I think I also do it that way. In every other place I've done this, I think this is what I do. Random less than player scavenging. Yeah. I think this is actually what I've been doing. This was the first time I did it the other way around, if I'm not mistaken. I guess it depends. Whatever. Same thing, right? If the random number I generated is less than my player scavenging, this feels more intuitive though. This makes more sense. So we generated a random number. If it's between 0 and 100, if it's less than my player scavenging percentage, that's fine. Okay. Now, what would be kind of cool is if we give these coins a little bit of a push, because what's going to happen here is it will spawn 3 coins on top of one another. So right where the player died or where the character died, 3 coins are going to be inside of one another. You won't even be able to see So maybe I should do a little. You see, this is now where again we can talk about tweening and stuff like that, animations, etc. So we could also just what we could do. Actually, let's go look at the coin. Let's see what the coin is actually doing. So the coin, it's just a coin. It doesn't do much of anything, to be honest. It's got a mesh and it's got a bit of a particle system, right? Yeah. So what could be cool is if we give the coin a rigid body. Now, the problem I have with this is this increases the complexity of the coin quite significantly, which obviously I do have to consider the fact that my decisions could impact the game performance, right? This is a thing that can happen. So currently the coins are just floating above the ground like that with their little particle like that, right? Now, as soon as I do stuff like give it a rigid body and then make it fly around and stuff like that, it's obviously going to change the amount of resources required for a coin to exist. And so I think the most we should do is maybe just give it a little bit of a push or something like that. I think I should do this in code, so I can just move it a little bit up to the sides, maybe. No problem, Abio. I'll see you when you get back. Okay. So, yeah. I think we should displace the coin slightly, maybe. Right, so maybe we could just do on start, so when the coin is actually created, we could just make it displace itself by a small random amount. For like a second or something like that. So we do something like a private move void move coin on start. Okay, so we want to run this, and we can run this. We can do a lot of things. But let's think about this. Okay, move coin on start. So what we basically want to do is we want to do transform.position plus equals some vector. So we want a movement direction. So we want a vector 3 move direction, right? And this can just be equal to a new vector, I guess. And then we want move direction multiplied by time dot delta time times like 3f, right? Just some movement speed just to move them out of the way a little bit. And we need to do this for a small amount of time. So we can think about this. Okay. So the move direction, I don't think we will be calculating it here or setting it here. I think the move direction should be set at start. And then we might do something like okay. So this is move up. We could do just a private vector 3 start move direction. Okay. And we can create that move direction at start. So we can do start move direction equals new. Okay. I wonder if we could give it a random direction. Right, so we could do a float. So we want x is equal to random. What does random.value do? Returns a random float within 0.0 and 1. Okay. That's not bad. That's actually what I want. X and Z. Yeah. Okay. We could even have, you know what? We could even do this. New vector 3. Can we just do random value? And 0 and random. Okay, that's actually pretty nice. So we just do that. So we just get 3 random values. Well, we get a random. Okay, so the Y, we don't want to move it up and down, right? We just wanted to slide it to some direction. So we just get 3 to a random vector, start move direction. We just calculate that random vector. And then over here, on start move. So we want a timer associated with this. So this would also just be private float. Gee whiz. Okay, and we can just simply do if start move timer is less than 2. We can do transform.position, start move direction, okay, and start move timer equals time dot delta time. Okay. If I wanted to do it like that, I could maybe piggyback on another timer. I think, maybe. I don't think I have any other timers, to be honest. Yeah. We can even do start move timer. You know, yeah, we could set it to 2F, for instance, over there. So we make it, and then we just say if it's less than 0, and we do minus equal. Okay. Okay. So if our start move timer is greater than 0, right? Greater than 0. So it starts at 2. If as long as it's greater than 0, we would do it. At some point, it'll go below, so it will stop moving in that start move direction. Okay. I don't know how quick this is gonna move, but okay. So all coins will, when they start, they will randomly move in some direction. Okay. So the one thing, our scavenging. Okay, so this is something I had to do with the runes as well. So maybe I do the scavenging the same way now that I think about it. Because the way it works now, there's basically no chance of dropping 2 coins, but there's always a chance of dropping at least... you can always drop 1 coin. But then there's some chance that you drop 2 coins. 3 coins. And the runes, I kind of did the same thing. There's a 15%, so there's a base chance, which is 15% of dropping something. And then you augment that chance. So if you have 100% luck, that means you double the odds, which means it goes from 15% to 30%. And maybe I should do the same thing here. I think I should. Because that way what we can do is we can say, okay, cool. You have 100% scavenging. That doesn't mean you have 100%, because what happens when you have 110% scavenging? Right? It shouldn't be entirely possible to have 100% chance to... Well, you could have a very high chance, but never a 100% chance of dropping 3 coins, I don't think. So, yeah. So let's go check the rune spawner. Yeah, so this is the chance of a rune dropping. So we get a random range between 0 and 100. Then we add 0.15f times your stat. So that's the 15% chance. Which means if you have a 100% chance this would add 15, right? So then our chance is double what it could have been, right? So if we did something like this instead, so we should just determine a base drop rate then, whoops, for the coin spawner as well. So let's think about this. Okay, so we get our players scavenging, that's fine. So float chance, we want, so we're going to work with float chance instead, right? Okay. So we add to this the sum multiplier, like 0.1f multiplied by our player scavenging. Right, and effectively what we want to do here is we want to check if our chance is greater than our base chance. Well, some number, right? Okay, so this is now a little bit, this is at least similar to what I did with the runes, which in my opinion is not bad. So there's a 15% chance base, because chance can be, even if your player scavenging is 0, right, if you have 0 scavenging, that would still leave you with a slight chance of getting more than that, right? But maybe we increase the chance a little bit, or we increase the effect of scavenging a little bit. So if you look at the scavenging stat and you see, oh, my scavenging is 100%. What does that mean to you? Does that mean it's doubling your chance? I think that is what it means. It doesn't mean you have 100% chance. It just doubles the base chance. Okay, so that's how I'm going to work with it. Now, you always get a coin, but there is a slight chance that you get 3. Okay, so that doesn't feel too bad, right? So there's a 30% chance that you could get, if you have 100% scavenging, a 30% chance of getting way more. And a base chance of 15%. Yeah. Let's leave it like that for now. We could always come back here and fix it if we want to make it much higher. Okay, so let's go test it out. So let's see if our coins drop more regularly. Okay, so we need to get a character like the Ranger, for instance, and give her a 500% scavenging stat. Right, so if her scavenging is 500%, 500 is basically, I think it's like a 90% chance or something. I don't even know. I can't remember. But it's a very high chance, right? It's a very high scavenging number, so there's a very good chance that you would get your... This is not quite alphabetical. I should change this. Anyway. Okay, we can close the shop, put her there. Let's go see if we drop a lot of coins. Okay, so the coins are moving a little bit. That kind of looks funny. Like if you can see when they drop, the coins keep going. Oh, you know what? I should make it a random value between... Yeah, it's always moving one direction. It should be potential to have a negative value as well for the coin moving. What else do we have? Random dot... it's between 0 and 1, which is not bad, but can't we have... maybe we just do random dot range. -1 to 1. Yeah. Okay, so now they can move in more directions. Because they were all moving like at a diagonal to the one corner because it's always a positive X and Y. But now it can be both negative. Okay, so that's fine. They were also moving quite slow or for too long. Maybe that's the problem. So maybe we make them move for like 1 second. And we can make them move a little bit quicker, maybe. Okay, let's go test that out. Play. Okay, let's see. How much health do these guys have? Oh, yeah, that's kind of nice. I like that. Ooh, getting a lot of coins now. Very good. Okay. So the next thing we should do... okay, so that stat basically works now. So there's a reason to upgrade it. And there's a reason to use some of the items. Because some of the items give you that stat, but they were kind of pointless. Okay, cool. The next thing is... let's go change the text in the buy button text, right? So if we go to our room slot, so I think I set the text to buy. Let's make it unlock, right? Unlock. So it's not buy, it's unlock. And then when we click the shop button for the first time, we could check. Okay, so after the button is clicked, I mean, this should just become upgrade, right? Yeah. I think shop button.text is equal to upgrade. Okay, obviously until we reach max upgrade, then it won't be displayed anymore. Yeah. But now it starts as unlock and it goes to upgrade. And what's nice about those two words instead is that they are similar in length. So I should be able to look at my UI and UI Builder and tell whether or not that'll look good already. Let's have a look here. So unlock. Yeah, that fits nicely into the button. And we can play, and I think it should be okay. I don't know if unlock is spelled correctly. Is it 2 words? No, it cannot be. Okay, so unlock. Okay, we can close the shop. Then we got it. Then we can upgrade. You don't have enough coin? Oh, damn it. No, that's true. Okay, we unlock a bunch of stuff. Maybe 2 seats over there. There we go. You know what? Let's get that. Okay. Yeah, I like the coins. I think they look pretty cool. Even the way they move when the character dies. Nice! Very good. And we got ourselves a good item. Okay, so the next part of the problem will be to, well, potentially get a way of balancing these things, because currently, like, I can unlock everything if I wanted, because the unlock cost is quite low, right? So unlocking them is not a problem. Upgrading them, it's a bit more complicated because they do get expensive quite quickly. But yeah, unlocking them is really, really straightforward. Ooh, I know what that one does. It's actually super satisfying seeing all these coins drop when you shoot them like that. I like that so much. That's such a satisfying effect. I'm glad we did this. Give me that item. Hey! I like this. This is fun. And this thing gives me even more scavenging. And luck, but it reduces my armor and health regen tremendously. Okay, so let's see. Mr. Bird. Let's give you... the luck. No. Stop. Okay. So he's got now double the luck, but I don't think that's actually that bad. Or that good. 30% is obviously nice, but it's not 500%. Ooh, another one. I think we should make the coins go even faster. Let's try that. So if a coin drops, I think we can move it at double the speed, but for half the time. Okay, let's see it go. Let's see. Yes, just look at all this money. I'm rich. Okay, that's pretty nice. I like that. How much money did I just get? A ton. 250 coins. Nice. So we can totally max out our gym. Well, no, just kinda. Okay. Let's put in there. Let's put you in there. Let's put you. Oh wait. Unlock a chair and upgrade the chair. Should have gotten an item in the first level, but I forgot. Ooh, some more monies. Oh, come on. Okay. What do we get? Negative luck, critical damage, and all that good stuff. A lot of luck and scavenging. No health regen. Or armor. Let's do something like that. I wonder if we should also... Yeah, I think so. I think we should change the base amount of coins that are dropped by enemy type. That seems like a good idea. Almost like the experience value that you get for killing them. Like the small guys, they drop 1 coin, the frogs drop 2, the Komodos drop 3, right? And then also, depending on your luck, your scavenging, that could be multiplied by 3. That doesn't feel too bad. We might have to do that. Could we do that now, quick? I guess we could. Yeah, let's do that quickly. So I think in the code we have a coin, the coin spawner, right? So spawn coin, it needs to have int amount, right? So some amount of coins need to be spawned, right? And I think, yeah, we should then do another for loop over here, and we should basically make the base just the amount, and then this one would be 3 times the amount. Right? Simple enough. So that at least solves this problem, but now this thing is called somewhere where it doesn't know what the amount is. So this is in the enemy manager. So I think we should get from the enemy data dot coin drop amount. Okay, so something like that. So a number called coin drop amount in the enemy data. So let's open up our enemy data. Enemy data, where are you? Enemy data. Here we go. So enemy data, it's got XP value. So it's just basically going to have a public int coin drop amount. Okay. And now we just need to set that to something for each enemy type. Right. So that's okay. And then when we create our enemy prefabs, we just need to remember to set that number. Okay, so we can open up the simple melee enemy. Go to enemy data, coin drop amount 1. Okay, then we can open up our ranged bomber, coin drop amount 2. Then our Komodo dragons, coin drop amount 3. And our boss enemy, coin drop about like 100. Right? I think so. Maybe even more. 100 doesn't seem that much. But anyway, it's fine. Okay. So that's good. So now that's sorted. So I think that's just about everything for coins that we need to do. So the next thing will be these rooms, right? So I have room 1, 2, and 3. And we could give them, we could keep them like this if we wanted. So we could, okay, we need to think about how we want to do this. So either the room just stays like that. So we have room 1, 2, 3 in their positions, and that's it. And then when you open the shop, it opens an overlay that gives you an option of clicking the type of room that you want, right? Maybe a drop-down list or something like that. I think we can make a drop-down list, right? That's not a problem. Yeah, drop-down. It's basically going to be an enum drop-down, I think. Wow. So that's just the name. That is the... This will be the drop-down. Sent. Where is he getting that from? Oh, text center. Okay, but the enum field, I know there should be a way to give it data. Label enum value center. Okay. Left, center, right. Okay, so that's just... I don't know what this is. Type. Oh. Type text alignment. So I could do type. I can think about, so room type. I could do that one, for instance. Right, and now the value would be default, next level, observation deck, gym, revive station. Okay. That's actually very straightforward. Yeah, that's actually very straightforward. So we can define a room type. So let's think about how we want to do this, right? So we could do that. Okay, I want to do something similar to what I've done. So a room is obviously a little bit more complicated, right? So the room will have a slot. So let's just put us... So there will be a room slot in these rooms, right? So at least there will be one room slot. Okay. At a minimum, that is required, a room slot. And we can unlock the room slot, etc. But the room slot will be dependent on the type of room that we are in. Right, so we need to be able to connect or build a room and connect the slot and then etc. etc. Okay, so we need... Yeah, I can build these rooms manually, and the only reason why I can do that is because I want to keep them consistent. I don't want to generate them like I do the slots, right? I don't need a constructor. I don't think I need a constructor for them. Because there's not going to be many of them, so I can just quickly make a room and then duplicate it. Yeah. Okay, but we still need a couple of things defined. So in our waiting room, now we need to be careful. This is already a mess, right? But this is going to be a type of room. Okay, so it will be a type of room. That is at least one thing it will be. It'll be a type of room. How exactly do I want to do this? Maybe I do want to make a constructor. like I did there. Because damn, look at how complicated this thing became. This is just a room slot. So I could, in theory, create the 3 rooms. Classes here. And extend room. Yeah, no, this thing is getting ridiculous though. And then, yeah, like this is also bothering me. The way I need to get a reference to these things is kind of So this room type is kind of like this is a fixed room, right? So let's call it fixed. What? Fixed room type. And then we kind of have a different type of room. It's going to be a changeable. What did I call this in my... Gave it a name. Let's see, what did I call this? It was exchangeable rooms. Exchangeable room type. And then we had all these. Okay. So we can go with that. Exchangeable. Oh wait, this should be an enum. Enum. Exchangeable room type. Okay. So it can start with just empty, right? So that's the base room that you can have. It's just an empty room. Okay. Now let's just put some of them in here. So let's see, what did we have? Okay, let's do Smithy Lab. Smithy Lab Yoga. Smithy Lab Yoga Massage Massage. I actually don't know what's the difference between the spelling. What is a message versus a massage? Message, massage. I guess it's an A. Yeah. Oops. Okay. Massage with a A. Massage. Okay. Not massage. Interesting. Okay. So we now have exchangeable room types. Okay. So that could help us somewhat. Now we have a room. We kind of want to extend this. Yeah, okay. I need to make it so that I can make one class do everything for me. And then based on what you select, it generates that room for you. So I kind of do want to add this programmatically. So I guess it makes sense to have this as a new type of room. A new type of UI element. I should, yeah. Because I'm not gonna, I want to build it. Yeah, let's create a new script here. Exchangeable room. I think I'm doing a spelling mistake here. Ugh. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Exchangeable room. Okay. So the exchangeable room is going to be similar to our room slot in many ways. So we need okay, we need this at least. Okay. Okay. And public partial class, we are extending a visual element, right? Okay, and then we just need a public exchangeable room. Oh, come on. Okay, something like that. Okay, now we need to do stuff. Okay, so it is a visual element, at least. So we slap in an exchangeable room, and then we can do add to class list. I guess the class list is going to be, or the class is going to be exchangeable room. Right, something like that. We also are going to need a public level prep UI. All right, we're going to need that. We'll probably need a few other things as well, like a public waiting room. Okay. Yeah, we're going to need those at least. Okay, what else do we need? Well, we'll need a name for the room. We'll probably also need to create a exchangeable room. Okay, this is gonna bother me. Let's do a quick I thought I was doing a spelling mistake. So exchangeable is not spelled like that. Exchangeable. Okay. It was bothering me a lot. Okay, but at least it's fixed now. Let's see if it just recompiled and changed the name. It didn't. Wait, what are you? Could not load type. Oh, I guess it's this enum. Hey. Yeah. Let's change this. Well, actually, let's go change the name just everywhere first. So, in our waiting room, I guess we made a spelling mistake. Exchangeable. Right, exchangeable room type. Okay, so for this enum, that's what we want to look for. But that's gonna bother me. How would I add this? Okay, now that thing should be happy, which should also mean my scripts are happy. Come on. Change the name. Doesn't want to do it. Exchange able. Okay. Okay, so one of the things I actually don't know is, can I add let's see, enum. What is this thing called? It's a enum drop down, right? Enum drop down of type, so we can give it a type where we say something like waiting room dot exchangeable room type. Okay. Yeah, we can call it enum dropdown. Okay. So I guess that works. Okay, let's save this. I just want to see if it works, sort of, at least. Okay, so let's assume I want to put 3 of them here, right? Now they're all going to have the same structure and they're going to work the same way. But, so let's see. So we have an exchangeable room. So if I take this and I drag it in there. Okay, so we have an exchangeable room, but it doesn't have... Oh, wait, I didn't add it. Okay, my bad. Add enum drop down, right? Doesn't work. Okay, what type is this then? How does the enum field work? Or maybe I need to look for an enum field. Not an enum dropdown. Whoopsie. Let's just see. Enum field. Okay, so the enum field. Okay, so let's do that. Enum field, enum drop down equals. So we create a new one, new. So can I now do enum drop down dot type, data source type equals type of, not string but waiting room dot exchangeable room type. Is that the correct way of doing it? Well, let's find out. Well, it's compiling, so it's definitely trying to do something. Ah, okay. There we go. So we did get an enum field. Okay. Hey, Ibia. Welcome back. Okay, cool. So we added an enum field. That's fine. Can we set... Okay, so let's see. In the attributes... Yeah, okay. So it's not quite the same as this enum field, it seems like. It's got some things that are similar, but not a lot of things that are similar. What would this thing actually do now if I play the game? Let's see what it does. I have no idea. Okay, wait, there's already a problem here, I think. Okay, so I can't click this one. Can I click this one? Yes. So this one is working, sort of. I mean, it looks like garbage, but it is at least giving me something. If I click on this one, it doesn't do anything. So just adding it like that doesn't actually do anything for you. So, but we did create and add it, right? And we did give it a data source. Maybe I don't give it the type of. Maybe it's actually not the data source type. What else can we do with this thing? Let's see. Enum field. Well, enum dropdown dot. Okay. Data source. Maybe that's what I needed to do. Maybe they overlap and not clicking. I don't know. It's obviously, look, okay, so if we just go back. Okay, let's just let it compile. Okay, let's see what it does. So let's go in UI Builder. Okay, so this is our enum field, right? So it's clearly there inside of this. So if I... Okay, so it's already giving me an error, so it's definitely unhappy about something. So this type, so the attribute type is not set for the enum field, so that's a problem, and the label as well. So I should be able to get this attribute just type. UXML attribute type value is nothing. Okay. Why if I do enum dropdown dot type? No, not data source type, just type. But it doesn't want to give it to me. Attribute set this guy, what are you asking me? I'm trying to dynamically populate the field. I'm not quite sure what that is, what that means. Look, okay, so this is obviously not working. So that line of code doesn't do anything, right? So if you look at a normal enum field, okay, so this is an enum field, right? That I just dragged in from the standard library, right? So the standard library has a enum field, this one, that I just dragged in, and it exposes these attributes. So I can change the name, to room, and their value will be, well, I can make it a standard value, but I can set the type by just selecting a type here. Okay. And that's actually what I want to do. The same way I can set this in the inspector, I want to be able to set that in code when I generate the enum field. So if you look at this enum field, it does have the same attributes, right? But the type is none. Now, normally, if you want to set an attribute for anything, you would just get the attribute straight, right? You would just do like .text or whatever for a label, for instance, right? Label's obviously a very straightforward one, but you understand my meaning. Like if I want to change the coin count, I just get the attribute text and it works. The problem is this enum field, it doesn't give me the type attribute, or I don't have access to the type attribute or something to this nature. So I can't. So I have an enum field. I called it the enum dropdown. I created a new one. That's nice. But then when I do enum dropdown dot data source type, that's something I can do, but that's not quite the same type that I wanted. I can set the text apparently. I don't know what that would set though. Let's see. No, that doesn't work. I can just get text. I would have to grab it first and then access it, but I'm creating it and I have a reference to it, so technically I am grabbing it, right? This is exactly the way I've been doing like the room slots, right? Where I create a background image and then I access an attribute to set it, right? Because I have a reference to the thing I just created. Or like, yeah, I created a label, a new one. Then I changed the text. But I can't get a type. I can't access the attribute. Is this just not a thing that you can do? You can't access the attributes of an enum field. Is that what you're saying? So we have an enum field, which is a UI element. We can also do an enum dropdown, which is something completely different. Enum buttons. Huh. Some interesting. Yeah, okay. So, but I want the enum field. Enum field equals new. Wait, am I using the wrong? Okay, you're saying enum field.init. What does that do? So wait, does it take type of no. Okay, if I did that, it gives me an error which says it's a type. Okay, and if I give it dot none empty. Okay, so that gives the enum field a base value. Apparently. So that would at least mean it's just an empty room type, as far as I understand. So let's see how that compiled. Let's clear this. Okay, cool. So now it just says empty there. Okay, so if I click on it and I go check. Okay, cool. So the waiting room. So the type was changed. How's that different from this one? Okay, so the type was changed, but now the type... Why does it not have a value? So the type is now at least what I suspect it should be, right? So it's now the type of exchangeable room type, which is the same as this one that I plugged in manually. Okay. So now the only other question is, how do you access the label and the... Why is this not here? The value. Seems like it's kind of broken. So label and value. So enum field.label equals, I guess this is just a text, right? Some text and enum field. Oh, come on. Dot value. Oh. Okay, cool. So interesting. So if I give it a different value, so let's say I give it a value of I don't know, some other thing, Smithy. We're just testing stuff, right? There we go. Now it's looking more complete. So it's got a label now. I mean, it looks terrible. Some text. It's got the Smithy, which is what I set it to, right? It all looks very ugly, but at least it's kind of working. I don't know where this is coming from, but okay. Let's see what happens when I play. Okay. Hey, look at that. Oh, that's perfect. It's a bit weird. But that does work, and it works. This one works the same. It does seem like I can click miss here more often. Okay, but now at least... Okay, so at least it's set up, right? It works. The... I'm just curious. So it looks ugly, obviously. Okay, so that's just a normal label. That's nothing special. That is just a visual element with a text element, which... What is a text element? That's just the label. And that's also a visual element. And I suppose when I click on this, it generates a list. I could build this myself, right? If I wanted. If I really, really wanted. Could I? Okay, so let's say I want to make that arrow look differently. How would I? I would need to get that selected to change anything, right? Could I add a style to it? I guess I could somehow. I don't actually know. It also doesn't really have a name. This is a little bit more annoying. Unity enum field text. So yeah, so we need to use enum field input. Enum field, I guess this is enum field label. And this is just the enum field. Yeah. There's a way that you could double click on these things or something and it will add the selector, but I could just do that, I guess. Unity base field. So now I have access to this thing. So if I want to change something like the base text size, I can. I can make it bold, I can make it all white. Yeah. Okay. Seems like it's working now. Hey, Gavarian. Is the definition exposed? The definition of what? I'm not sure. Are you talking about this stuff? Wait, where the hell am I now? Oh, I'm in the room. That's, yeah. Yeah, this one doesn't let me do anything. Also, this is also kind of bothering me. I don't know why this is happening. Well, I'm trying to interact with the enum field. I suppose that's what you mean. I guess the answer is no. I don't know. Like the problem is the selectors, right? You can't these pre-built groups or fields or whatever that Unity gives you. You can't just edit them as you'd like. Or that's what it seems like anyway. But you can edit the base field or the enum field or whatever it is. Okay, so this is where I make it. So are you saying that I could do something like enum field peak definition? Or you mean I could look at this class definition maybe? Like, yeah. Okay. Yeah. I think the correct way to... I actually don't know what the correct way is, to be honest. Yeah, so this is the problem, right? It's this USS class. So an element of this type, you need to interact with it using the USS class of that name. And then obviously you have the different components within it. So I guess that's just how they intended you to use these things. You just have to create these classes or these selectors in your style sheet so that you can work with them. I guess that's what they wanted us to do when we interact with these, because they don't allow us to add new classes to them, as far as I know. I think, actually, yeah, here we go. Private void initialize. So that's the default value. Okay, and then it adds to class list all the things. Yeah, but it doesn't let me. Oh wait. Enum field add to class list. But is add to class list exposed? Yeah, so this extends the base, which I suppose is something else. Base field, I guess. But it's not the end of the world, right? If I know I can add, so I could basically get all of the stuff. That's not really a problem, right? If I can get these selectors. It's okay. But I don't think I can do a enum. Well, let's try. Enum. Oh, wait. Enum field dot add to class list, so I can still do this and give it a class test enum selector. So what would that do for me? So let's see. So in here, I guess it's just going to pop up there in the enum field after this thing compiles, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, so I can add it like that, but I can't add them in here. So the UI builder doesn't allow me to add anything. Okay, but that's not too bad. So then I can add my own. I can either use theirs or I can just add my own to whatever element I want to interact with. Okay, there's one more thing I want to check. So this list that pops out here, how does that actually work? Right, so we have this list. Who decides the style of this thing? Where is this? So that's obviously generating something new. I can click tab to autocomplete what I'm trying to write instead of typing it all. Okay. Yeah, I think I know that. I think I use autocomplete fairly often. Let's see, these selections. So how do I edit that? So if I go to UI Toolkit Debugger, where's this coming from? These things specifically. So if I go pick element. Okay, so it seems like they have... Okay, so it's the base drop-down item visual element. And then inside of it, it's item content. Okay, which is another visual element. Wow. Eventually it's a label. That would be base, drop down, label. Okay, I see. I'm writing in mistakes and then I write again. I might do that. I don't know. Okay, cool. So if I got this, so Unity base drop down __ label. Why can't I copy anything from here? Okay, so let's consider that. So if I go here and I add, this is gonna be. Do we want Unity? Base. It's not auto-completing. Drop down __ label. Okay, and okay, so if I can take that thing and I could do something with the text if I wanted to make that look better. The only problem I have with this is like, how the hell am I supposed to do this over here? Because I can't interact with this. It doesn't let me click anything. It's in scripts. Okay. So does it change this one? Yeah, like I can't change anything here. Like these are not interactable over here. Can't see what they would look like. They pop out at some point, but I can't see what they are now. But okay, technically this should have worked. So if I go into my game view, it's not applied. Okay. Let's save and play again. I guess we don't just, I guess we are limited in some ways. It's okay. But I should be able to see it. Not there. What the hell am I doing? So, yeah, no, it didn't change the text color. You know what, guys? I think I'm gonna go have a Saturday. Cheers. I think I'm UI'd out. Yes, like fighting this UI so much work. But I think we did a lot of stuff today. So we got all our coins working. We got the shop working for unlocking new furnitures. We put a little movement animation on the coin, which is very satisfying. We can actually look at all that stuff. We enabled, okay, so purchasing, unlocking of items within the rooms that are already there, the fixed rooms, that works. So we can unlock items, no problem. These don't work now, so we won't click on those. We can close the shop. We can select a character, put the other ones into the various rooms that we just unlocked. We can start the game. I don't think that's too bad for today. Let's see if them die and drop their coins. Coins like kind of explode out their bodies, which is exactly how coins should behave. Maximum amount of satisfaction here. I kind of like that. Like a little coin explosion. Okay. I'm happy with that. So I think I'm going to call it a day there. I'm going to call it a Saturday at least. I'll see how my day goes. I have a lot of other work that I need to do that I've been putting off. So let's just go get into it. I don't want to, but I have to. I have to, guys. See you tomorrow. Cheers. Cheerio. Enjoy the rest of your day. or evening.